Why is the trial of Jair Bolsonaro so important? Picture this: a polarizing president lost his bid for re-election, incited his followers to riot, then the insurrection failed, he faced a criminal investigation, and then was put on trial. It sounds like a dream of an American Democrat, but it's really happening in the Western Hemisphere's other big democracy, Brazil. On September 2nd, Jair Bolsonaro, Brazil's former hard-right president, was put on trial on charges that he allegedly attempted a coup to remain in power after he lost his bid for re-election in 2022. He denies all charges, and many Brazilians believe he may be found guilty. This is an extraordinary moment for Brazil. In a country with a long history of coups and attempted coups, it is the first time that anyone is being held accountable for allegedly plotting one. But it's also an extraordinary moment globally. President Donald Trump is trying to bring all of America's economic might to bear on Brazil so that his buddy, Bolsonaro, does not face justice.
This is really a political execution that they're trying to do with Bolsonaro. I think that's terrible.
Does all of this make Brazil an example for other democracies to follow? The answer is complicated. Brazil's a very young democracy. It only got out of a 2-decade-long military dictatorship in 1985. And today, many of its politicians and its institutions are determined to safeguard Brazilians' rights from ever being ripped away again by men with guns. In the process of trying to bring Bolsonaro to trial, Brazil's Supreme Court has amassed an unnerving amount of power. And many Brazilians feel that the Supreme Court, and especially Alexandre de Moraes, the judge who has led the investigation into Bolsonaro, have gone a bit too far. In addition, Brazil's economy is a mess and it needs fixing, and there's a wide perception that Brazil's Congress is really corrupt. So fixing all of these issues will be very hard, especially because there's the Trump factor. Trump has imposed visa bans and sanctions on those who have tried to bring Bolsonaro to justice, but he's also imposed very high tariffs.
President Trump says he plans to impose a 50% tariff on goods made in Brazil.
But even harder will be the domestic obstacles. Brazil remains a deeply divided country, and it's very hard to convince people, and especially groups like the Supreme Court or Congress, to give up some of their powers and privileges for the greater good. So tensions in the future are inevitable. But unlike their counterparts in the United States, many of Brazil's mainstream politicians from all political stripes want to put a decade of polarization behind them and start fixing Brazil's underlying issues. And if they get to work after Bolsonaro's trial, then Brazil has a real chance for change. And it will have become a model for how countries can get over a populist fever.